Hey everybody, Brian Daniele, YouTube channel 40 Boards. Be sure to like and subscribe to our videos. With me as always, my right-hand guy, Todd Hollywood Adams, here at the Bowlers Mart, inside the Strike Zone lanes, inside Sunset Station, located in beautiful Henderson, Nevada. Always got to give a shout out to the folks that make it happen. Talking about layouts. It's all about layouts, like my man Todd says, and I like to say now because knowledge is power, and I'm getting full of knowledge working with my man Todd. It is cover stock that gets you to the pins. It is layout that gets you through the pins. We're going to talk about 3 potential layouts for this radical Innovator, a beautiful ball that we previewed when it came out. Todd, tell us about the layouts we're going to talk about here.
So we're going to do my favorite layout to put on every ball. Sometimes we drill 2 balls, but at this particular point in my bowling career, I'm drilling 1 ball. My favorite layout's 45 by 4 by 45. And what that has a tendency to be for me is a little bit more curve, a little less skid flippy kind of motion, a little bit more curve, utilizing more of the cover stock to get me what I'm kind of looking for more than an exotic layout to do that.
You know, Todd, something I forgot to ask you. I'm a little bit embarrassed. We've gone through a few of these right now. So you are 49 years old, getting ready to go to chase a senior PBA title. Right? I mean, you know, I don't mean to throw your ambitions out there, but it's all about having goals. I know that's one of yours. Share with our audience. How would you categorize yourself as a bowler? Would you categorize yourself as a high rev bowler, high speed? Where do you categorize yourself?
So the typical term I use for myself is I'm a tweener. I'm a little bit old school and a little bit new school. Unfortunately, growing up, when I grew up in the urethane era, I learned a bad habit of really grabbing it, creating muscle to create more roll and turn to the balls that were available to us back in the 80s. And here we are in the 2022 era. So since about the 2000s, we kind of had to learn how to play a different game. Less muscle creates more free speed off our hand, creates more hook potential for the ball. So
awesome.
I'm really, like I said, old school, new school kind of mix of my style.
Well, one thing we won't question is your knowledge of the game of bowling and how to drill balls, how to set up layouts, knowledge of product. I see we've got the ProSec. That is our tool for setting up our layout. So go ahead and take it from there as we do a layout on a Radical Innovator.
So here we go. We're going to do, again, we're doing 45 by 4 by 45. Get everything kind of lined up here. Pin. And mass bias in this particular scenario, you guys can see that this particular mass or center of gravity is off, right? They're not in line, and not all balls are going to be identically the same. So they're going to look a little bit different. Oh man, that ball looks different, must be off. Not necessarily. At the end of the day, it's about your pro shop guy creating lines that are meaningful to the layouts that we're creating. Okay.
And what are the other 2 markings on the ball for people that may not have tuned into one of our layout videos before?
So you have an asymmetrical core here. So identification of this pin indicates the top of the weight block. Why that's important is to know how to get that weight block centered to whatever kind of motion that we're looking to have for your ball. There's a little dot in here that's going to signify the center of gravity. The center of gravity is the heaviest spot of the core. And then, because it's an asymmetric core, we're going to tilt this so you can see this white dot. This white dot indicates the intermediate differential. And why that's important is because of the asymmetry, it really kind of gives us an idea of where it fits to our positive axis point. So on this, again, we're going to do the 45. We're going to do 45 here, 4, 5. We're going to get it all lined up. And we're going to do by 4. Turn it around, 45.
So for those of you taking notes at home, Todd's favorite layout, 45 by 4 by 45.
That's
45
correct.
by 4 by 45.
Kind of almost rhymes.
And I know you're going to be covering that positive access point, so for all of you watching at home, positive access point, very important for every bowler to know their positive access point. If you've got a professional at a pro shop, it should be their duty, almost their responsibility to take you out, watch you throw a ball, and help you determine your positive access point. I know Todd takes the time to get to know his customers real well. He knows my positive access point has definitely made a difference in how my balls are drilled and how my game has progressed. Would you say so, Todd?
Absolutely.
Now, you know, Todd is a professional. I am an amateur. So without the guidance of a professional, people willing to share the knowledge and pass that along to a new generation of bowlers, the game just doesn't survive. So that's what we're all about. So there we go. We got the layout, huh, Todd?
Yep, growing the sport. Yeah, 45 by 4 here, access point, by 45.
There we go. All right. And this is going to be perfect for a tweener like yourself.
Yep.
And we've already covered the ball, so if you want to know more about the Radical Innovator, check out our unboxing. But first, we got to clean this off so we can do another layout. And to clean it off, we got to grab our Max Tack, a great Bowlers Mart product, available at all Bowlers Mart locations and bowlersmart.com. Got to keep your balls clean, gentlemen and ladies.
All right, so the next layout we're going to do is, again, this is the skid flip for the slower ball speeds. This one's going to keep your ball in motion a little bit more. This is high friction for the high speed players. The more friction, the more it still needs to go down lane. So remember, in positive access point, so the longer away from your positive access point, yes, the pin's getting to the vertical access line, so a quicker response, but it's moving down lane, okay? We don't want it to be too slow. And I'm gonna show you another layout on this ball that's gonna look, completely different to this. So in this, we're gonna do 60 by, so this is gonna be by 5 3/4. 5 3/4. And 25.
60 by 5 3/4 by 25. I haven't heard that combination before in any of the balls we've done. I'm excited to hear how this ball is going to react with a layout like this and what kind of bowler it's going to be good for.
Again, this bowler is going to be good for slower ball speeds, keeping the ball in motion down lane. This would be good, like in my hand, if I was at a tournament and I needed to create a bunch of angle and get the ball to still read down lane, this would be a good layout for that.
Thousands of possible combinations of layouts, right? Which you got to find yourself a good professional to work with, no doubt about it.
Absolutely. So in this space, getting the pin on the vertical axis line is getting it so it's get to that spot and boom, it's going to create that big, quick response. So I love this layout when I got to move in and create a bunch of angle.
Fantastic. All right, well, let's clean it off. Let's get to that third layout.
One more time.
With the Max Tack.
Okay. So this last layout, this is kind of my go-to slower, smoother motion down lane kind of ball. We're going to do 45 by 3.5 by 75.
45 by 3.5 by 75.
45.
Todd is like an artist with a paintbrush with that Pro Sect in his hands. I'll tell you what, that is how many years in the pro shop business, Todd?
25 years.
25 years. Track staff bowler how long?
22.
And aiming to make a dent out in the senior PBA world, huh?
Absolutely. I haven't really bowled competitively for about 12 or 13 years and been waiting for the opportunity to kind of get out on tour and watch the big boys bowl and see what I can do. Right now, the PBA 50 Tour is made up of arguably the 80s and 90s best bowlers. So I'm going out there at an interesting, difficult time, but I really believe I'm going to have an opportunity to get those competitive juices flowing again.
Now, you are bowling in leagues, right, Todd?
Yeah, I do bowl. I bowl Thursday night at South Point at 7 o'clock. Good friends of mine, Eric Simrad and Chad Lucy.
And Chad's going to be one of our guests throwing the Phase 5 for us, and then even bringing some new storm balls coming out that we're going to get the preview. So kind of excited to get him showing up on the channel, huh?
Absolutely. So there we have, this is what we're going to call 45 by 3.5 by 75. As you can tell, in the last layout, the pin was much further up. This line going this way is our vertical axis line. And at the end of the day, there's a huge difference between this space and that space. That's what's going to create that different looking motion for every bowler.
Fantastic. Well, there you go. 3 layouts for the Radical Innovator, brought to you by the one and only Todd Hollywood Adams. You can find him at Bowlers Mart in Henderson. And listen, if you don't live near Bowlers Mart, you can go to bowlersmart.com. We look forward to seeing you again. Remember, like, subscribe, tell your friends. It's all about knowledge. Knowledge is power. We're passing it on to you. Everybody be good.
Be good.